What's happening then? It is your girl Kana Kane, and in the meantime and in between time, I'm coming to you with another video. Yes, this is episode 4 of Married at First Sight, season 14, and this got off to a good start. I thought this episode was pretty juicy. It sets us up for an explosion for the next episode, but let's get into it. I want to start out with I could say Lindsay and Mark, but I want to start with Jasmina and Michael first, I believe. Jasmina and Michael are coming off their high horse of their reception. You know, they didn't have their nighttime together, wake up in the morning, conversations good. And it's the next day to find meet family and friends and have this last conversation before they're off into the sunset because their honeymoon is Puerto Rico. They got everybody got their basket of letting them know, baby, you going to Puerto Rico. So, two people who's probably never been to Puerto Rico, which it sound like it's exciting. So, I want to start out by saying with Michael's family. The next day, you know how on Married at First Sight, they're talking to family. Her sisters are so inviting. Like, it just made me feel warm inside. Like, I know that has to be very special to be invited in someone's family like you're loved already. It makes things so much easier, and I just seen it makes you feel comfortable and at ease to even get to know Michael, her mate, a little better because they are in the beginning, and it's so scary in the beginning. You already think, am I gonna like this person? Will we get along? Will I be attracted to this person? But when you have such a nice family, warm and inviting, it really puts high hopes on the future. So I wanted to say the talk with the sisters went well, but this is something that's been alarming me about all the couples and, talking to their loved ones, is that they're taking, first of all, I kind of hate it in a way because the plot or the purpose is when you meet the families, they're supposed to warn you about the bad attributes of the person, that got married. And it's such a letdown because it seems like the couples, like Michael, for instance, Jasmina kind of ran with it of something that they told her about him thinking the negative first, or thinking, having, not the best expectations in the beginning of every situation. He thinks the worst of a situation first before he thinks of it in a positive light. And I think when people hear negativity, they take that and they run the wrong way. At least every couple who's had to come up against hearing the negative of their partner, I think they've all took that information they got and just totally ran with it the wrong way. But with Jasmina and Michael, they've been so careful with each other in such a delicate way. It was just really nice to see. But to break it down and get in their first argument was like, okay. Now this opens up the gates for us to see who was what. I felt let me see, Jasmina's family. When Jasmina's mother was talking to Michael, and he sensed the fear in her eyes, about him being with her daughter. He's looking at her like, oh, I'm a stranger and she thinks this and this and that about me because she doesn't know me. But for me, I sensed that, sometimes we know our children. And I don't think the fear was because he was a stranger. It was because she knows her daughter. And that fear, she's been married before and she's been divorced before. And so there's some things about Jasmina that are strong-willed, very kind of stubborn and set in a certain way. She's definitely not going to back down from an argument, and she's not going to be a yes sir type of chick. She ain't bowing, and that might be a huge problem. So I think her mother knows more of, will he be able to deal with her strong-willed, um, with her opinions being so strong and assertive? Like, I think that's more of a fear. Will he treat her daughter right? Because of a certain way that she is, and they're eventually probably gonna bump heads because of it. And as they are. Now, I don't know if they're going to get into it more about this situation, because when they show like the up and coming episodes, it looked like they're still tripping on their mild argument. I felt like their argument was a mild argument. And their argument, you'll see later on in the episode, if you have not watched episode 4, there is an argument between, they call him O, but it's Olajuwon. They call him O because can't nobody say Olajuwon. That's all. So they're calling him O and Lindsay get into it. And so briefly, Jasmina and Michael have a conversation once they get to Puerto Rico about this argument that took place. And they're, kind of briefly going, she asked the question, Jasmina asked the question, so how do you think the trip is going so far? And he's like, yeah, well, I think it's pretty good, but it got to a rocky start because, of people, not knowing one another, and, there's going to be confrontation. And right off the bat, she disagreed, and she was more like, this is where we agree to disagree, because I don't agree with that. And he was kind of shocked and taken back, because I'm going to just put it out there. I don't think what he said was wrong, nor do I think what she said was wrong. I just think that he was more right in a way, because realistically, people are gonna, have differences. And when you don't know people, it's just what he said. Some differences you don't know are wrong. It could be right to you until you point it out and say, hey, I don't like when you do that. Now, I like what she said because, hey, if you don't think negative, it probably won't go that route. And that's true. But the reality is, somewhere down the line, people are going to have differences that may turn into either a huge argument or a small disagreement, but somewhere there's going to be some type of havoc or some type of confrontation. And confrontation doesn't mean arguing. It just means we see things differently. Now, Jasmina was kind of right. If people respect one another, they won't probably get bent all out of shape and take it that far. But they both were right in a sense. But I didn't like how, if they allow that situation to get out of hand, that disagreement to get out of hand, it's really going to show where each other are at as far as characteristic wise. Are they petty? Are they mature enough to get over the hump? Or, just quite where they are. I think that Michael, for me, went a little over the top. He was a little immature when he made the statement of, with us disagreeing like this, being early in our situation and it being our first argument, do I even want to go continue our marriage or something? He said like that. And I thought, okay, Michael, don't be corny. Don't be immature. I think he's seen the depth of how, she was not compromising or not soft or gentle, and just how stern she was with her comeback. But I don't think it was something he should have said so early in the game. To me, I did feel that negative energy coming from him. And I was like, okay, watch it, Kingo Sabi. You ain't even, just be careful. So I still see them as two people to possibly make it all the way through. But, we can't be delusional not to think two people that don't know each other got to get to know each other. And sometimes it's going to be disagreements that help people kind of find their way into understanding one another. So, yeah. So, let's start with Noy and Steve. They're still my favorite little two people to be together. They're really laid back. I like their chemistry. They're all laughs and giggles. And after the big elephant in the room popped out the bag of him not having a job again, I think Noy is amazing because she took that news in stride. But real talk, um, you know, I just felt like when they were going to bed, I love their energy. They were just so cute together. They were like two, how you're in elementary and you're the shy boy and the shy girl and y'all come together. That's the energy I have from them. Two little cute shy people, saying the nicest things to one another and um, taking it slowly. Taking it slowly, which might be the best method of anything when you want to get to know each other. I always think in Married at First Sight, even though you're married, I feel like having sex the first night is a definite no no. So for anybody who has done it, I don't know if they're still together, but I will say this: it's a huge risk to take. Always take your time in that department. I think the men will really appreciate that. Even though men say they want you to have sex with them on the first night, I guarantee they don't. Um, they want to make, they want you to wait and they want you to make them wait. They definitely want you to do it when it's comfortable for you. But yeah. Um, let's see. Noy and Steve, they were kind of a quiet couple. You didn't get a real lot from them other than, them just kind of telling some futuristic things, what they want to do. You didn't get a lot from them. So I'm just have a lot of good hopes for Noy and Steve. They're kind of calm couple, which is a good thing. I really can't even see them arguing in this season because they are both so laid back and they seem like they both just have common sense, just common sense to know how to deal with pressured situations. So, especially if I give homage to anyone who in the middle of a pandemic, instead of freak out, to go travel and resume their energy and get it together and get their mind straight. To me, that's a person who takes life seriously but won't go overboard, and that's important. So definitely like Steve and Noy. um hmm, let's see, Steve and Noy. Oh my gosh, I kind of don't want to get on these two, but Alyssa and Chris. Alyssa. Where do I start? You know, Lindsay is one thing, but Alyssa is a whole masterpiece of something else. Like, the closing of their reception, and as they're, supposed to be going to their hotel room, she pulls one out the bag and she does this whole routine of she feels uncomfortable and she claims that she doesn't want to go into the room with him. She wants to sleep separately, which is cool, because these people don't know each other. But she gives him, he wants to know why. He wants to know what he's done, what's the problem, what's the matter. And her overall statement was, well, it's something that was said that I don't feel comfortable with. And he's like, well, can we talk about it? Well, let's talk about it in the morning. Let's sleep on it. And I thought to myself, only you know what to sleep on. This dude don't know. He can't sleep on it. He don't know what's going on. And so they sleep on it. They talk about it privately in the morning. And she never tells him what was said. She just goes right into, I don't think we're compatible. And for me, that's just BS. You never even discussed what was supposed to be said. That was what you guys were supposed to talk about. Along with, if you wanted to let him know you don't think you guys were compatible, cool. But at least deal with what you said you was going to deal with first. Don't BS him and then put, I don't think we're compatible out on the table, because then you're bewildering the guy. He still don't know. He's mystified. What happened? Okay, so then he tells, I guess, the mom, when the mom said, "Hey, how did it go?" When he talks to her family, "Hey, how did it go?" He's being honest about how their situation kind of kicked off. And it's ironic that Alyssa got mad at that too. But it's like she's just holding everything over his head and beating him down with it, because one, she knows that she has the upper hand at this point. She could see how down he was and how much he wanted this to work out. She's seen his reaction when he was really bummed that, they weren't going to spend that night together. She had that smirk on her face like, who cares what you think? Because I told y'all, episode 1, I could tell she's not attracted to him. She doesn't, or episode 2, sorry, because I didn't go over episode 1. But, she's not attracted to him. But what I don't like about Alyssa is, Alyssa child, Alyssa girl, you forgot that you signed up for this. So you knew that there was a possibility that they were not going to, he wasn't going to be exactly what you asked for. And at least he may not have been handsome. Okay? But when you sign up for such a show like this, you have to be prepared to either look past handsome and discover who you really are by finding love, not through being superficial, but being able to be authentic. Now, I know that is not for everybody. People sometimes don't care nothing about looks. I mean, they don't care nothing about personality. They want you to be fine. But you signed up. Then look for your own mate. Don't come on a show letting people pick for you. And again, like I said last week, I feel like production, they sniffed her out. They could see that she was acting prima donna about what she wanted. And they said, okay, this is our drama right here. This is our moneymaker. And they bedazzled her, I don't know if anybody ever seen the movie Bedazzled. What is Bernard Fisher? Anyway, okay, it's about this guy named Elliot, and he gets 7 wishes from the devil. He makes this deal with something had happened, and he gets these 7 wishes, and every time he asks for something from the devil gives him what he asked for, but it doesn't quite go in the order where he expected it to be. And every time he would get bedazzled. And if the purpose of the show was if he would just have been himself in the beginning, his wishes could have been something else, and blah blah blah. But to me, this is just what's happening to Alyssa. She's being bedazzled because she's being superficial, fake, and phony. And what I hate about it is she's manipulating and overpowering Chris with expectations that she knows she's not going to fulfill at all. Like, oh man. But what I liked about Chris is that Chris called her out. He's seen her BS, and even though he never said, I don't think she find me attractive, he knows that she's playing this mind manipulating game, and she's gaslighting him. Something that when he confronted her, straight up, he confronted her. And her response was, so are you calling me a liar? And he had to kind of think about it because I don't think Chris was calling her a liar and when he called her out. I think he was basically confronting her about, saying one thing and then explaining another and not giving their situation a chance that she's blanked out of it. She's not even trying. And that is it. That's exactly it. And then when she puts on this, oh, I don't want to talk, puts on this, I'm about to freak out moment. This is too heavy for me. He could see that she's just gaslighting him, trying to make him feel and think one way as she don't give a dang. And I think, at this point, Alyssa is on a vacation in Puerto Rico. She don't care what he does. And, we're going to go through a whole ride of watching Chris either stand up for himself or take this disrespect from her and try to work it out different steps of the way. And, I don't know if you guys remember Molly and Jonathan from Married at First Sight season 6, but this reminds me of that. Like, Molly drugged Jonathan through the whole season. One minute she acted like she was, opening up, and then the next minute when, she was acting like, oh no, I'm still not ready. And behind the camera, she was treating him like he disgusted her. And she was such a narcissist to me. So the only thing that I think sometime on Married at First Sight with couples like Alyssa and Chris or Molly and Jonathan or Michaela and Zach, I had to throw them in there. Or remember Michael and Mika? Oh my Lord. Couples that have, pretty much one person who might slightly have be mentally ill or mentally incapable of being honest or true or authentic. I hope that the counselors really do their job. I felt like in Married at First Sight season 6 with Molly and Jonathan, I really felt like they should have done a follow up with him and got him therapy because I felt like she drugged him. And if they are not on it with this couple, I feel like Chris could get drugged. And it can, this kind of stuff can mentally weigh on your life, on your mind. And after these shows, you got to go back to your life. And I know going through 8 weeks of someone you don't know trying to work it out, then seeing it on TV, having to be embarrassed, no matter how they put it together or how it goes or how they edit it or whatever. If it really looks bad, it really comes across bad, and you got people's opinions, and now you're famous for probably being the joke or the butt of all jokes, or or people feel sorry for you because they see what you really went through and how harsh this other person is, and she can get a lot of hate mail or, girls that understand, which I felt like she's playing a game, and she doesn't want to engage. She was on the after party show that they have with Keisha Pulliam Knight, and Keisha had asked Alyssa a straight up question, and Alyssa went into the tears and crying, and I can't do this because she didn't want to be honest about a question. So I just feel for Chris in this season. It's gonna be a long, hard season for Chris, and I don't know if he's gonna give up early and just take the $100,000 hit, or is he gonna go through it doing him? I think he's being really strong right now about it, and he's trying to hang in there as much as he can, but he looks so down, and it hurts so much to see somebody hurt because the process is not going anywhere the way they thought it would go. So I'm not liking Alyssa right now, and I probably shouldn't say this, but this is the kind of person that I am a little bit. When Alyssa started just acting like Chris was disgusting, see, it made me want to pick her apart too. Like, girl, you is not the prettiest flower to be picked up in there. You starting to look like a little goldfish. Stop playing. It just made you want to start picking her apart a little bit because you don't sign up for something that, you're being just straight up phony. Like, you just being straight up, you don't care. And it's just like, come on, girl, do better. But we'll see how the rest of this season go. I just kind of know where it's going to go. And I just hope that if he's going to hang in there, if Chris is going to hang in there the long haul, that he can mentally handle that. That's all I'm saying. Now, let's go to Lindsay and Mark. And I want to say, I love Lindsay and Mark. They got the chemistry of a lifetime. I think they are two wonderful people. I think Mark is exactly what Lindsay needs. Lindsay is a big mouth. But I think Mark is Italian. If he's not, forgive me. But I love Italian men. And I'm going to tell you why. I think Italian men are so honest, brutally honest too, but they're so honest, brutally honest to a point where they're funny. They're funny without even trying to be funny. They're non-judgmental men. They don't care about your past. And Mark is kind. He's supportive. He's caring. And he has a gentle side to him that's so awesome. Um, wow. But Italian men like ballsy chicks. They don't want some calm, cool, collective chick. They like ball chicks with balls. And I think Lindsay fits that whole category because only they know how soft their women are. And, given a chance, Lizzie, she confesses over and over again how all she wants is someone to understand her. And I think Mark is that gentle person to kind of be that middleman because, Elijahwan and Lindsay, as you know, had a little argument. And, Mark ended up coming to her defense as far as going to everyone and apologizing for her mislaps or however you want to say it. The situation was this. So when they went on their honeymoon, and I don't know if they were boarding the plane or getting off the plane, but anyway, they were in the van, and I guess she had told everyone or asked Olajuwon if he knew how to speak Spanish, and he was like, yeah, a little bit. And she was like, okay, well, on this trip, we're going to speak Spanish. And he was like, well, I feel more comfortable speaking English. She was like, well, we're in their homeland, and da-da-da. And he said, look, worry about you. And, I'll worry about me and my wife, and you worry about you and your husband. You tell you and your husband do that. He just kind of bluntly let her know that, we're adults. We don't want to be told what to do, blah, blah, blah. Now, for me, I wasn't there, and it sounds like it was more to it than that, but that's how he kind of explained it. And Katina, Elijahwan's wife, was really upset with Lindsay because I believe Lindsay made a comment walking away that she wants to fight Olajuwon. So that kind of really deterred Katina. Tina was like not having it, right? Now, initially, I didn't find anything wrong with her merely. It was just a suggestion. I don't see why Olajuwon got so tiffy and tat about it. I don't know if it was the way she said it and her tone, but it was no big deal to me, But, in Katina's confessional, it's kind of like she was irritating people and trying to just be a little over the top with the suggestions. So, but production didn't show it. So we didn't get to see the beginning, the end, or none of it. We just heard the aftermath. And so you really can't make a judgment call on if Olajuwon was out of line or not because you just don't know. So, but I still wouldn't have went that deep in it. And it just made things awkward and weird. Like Steve said, it made the situation awkward and weird. And it just kind of threw things off balance between all the couples. And it was just a bit much. But Mark and Lindsay end up getting a different bus going towards their hotel and to get the trip started. And, once everyone got comfortably in their rooms and, put their luggage down, they all came out and kind of was on the resort for a drink. And of course, Elijahwan apologized to everybody and was like, I don't want this to ruin people's trip, which I thought was really big of him to make sure he apologizes to the other couples. And then Mark comes down, but he doesn't come down with Lindsay because they had just got done discussing how they weren't there and, the separatism and this and that. And here comes Mark. Such the gentleman that he is, he was coming to ask for forgiveness to the other couples on the behalf of Lindsay, and he just stood up like a man for her. He wasn't trying to act bad. He was the peacemaker. And I said, yep, that's exactly the man Lindsay needs. She needs someone who's going to be the rational person to kind of make people kind of understand, and he's understanding. He's a peacemaker. He's peaceable. And so I can see him leading and guiding her to a better Lindsay. Someone who's patient and kind and understanding, but don't take it from her. Yeah, she's going to grow if they stay together. If, she's a little over the top with the name calling, but hurt people hurt people. So, that's what you're going to get out of someone like Lindsay. Because all you know is hurt and pain. You don't know how to express yourself any other way. You're a name caller. You're, you just dog people with your mouth. You hurt people with your words. You're not the type of person that build people up at all, but you want to be understood and loved. And I think, people like that are very confused. You want something that you can't even give. And so that takes a lot. It's going to take a lot from, and thinking of Mark, he already gives a lot by being a caretaker to his, grandmother and mother, and to have this woman who is very much going to be a problem. Very much will be someone, if he stay married to her, he's going to have to carry a lot of the weight as far as being the relationship, as far as the caring side of the relationship. She probably can do other womanly duties well, but usually when you have people like Lindsay, they don't even do like womanly duties that great either, because they're, if you're hateful, you don't know how your hatefulness unravels until you get around a person like that. Or she could be just the opposite. She could be a mess, but loving deep down inside. So we'll figure it out as the show continues to go through the journey. But for right now, I like Lindsay. I feel like she is misunderstood. I don't feel like what she said really was that huge of a deal to be jumped on like that. But, it seemed like everybody has a little discord with Lindsay. So it's kind of hard to say. And with production, they are not giving you everything. They're giving us still kind of what they want us to see and know. And so it's hard to call it. The only thing you can be for sure about Lindsay is a big mouth. But so far, I love her and Mark's chemistry. I think they laugh together very well. I can see the fun in them. Oh wow, that part was exciting to see because she has all that going on, and they can laugh like they're best friends. Yes, I'm here for it. I am here for it, because what I want to see in shows like this, because I like Married at First Sight, is I want to see people fall in love and be able to grow, to show the world that love does still exist, and you got to take a chance on love. It's worth it in the end, and that's such a huge message. And I think some people don't mess that up. Don't mess that up. Don't. And this show is worth the try. As long as you're not coming on here for any other reason. And that's where we get to Elijahwan and Katina. Because Elijahwan and Katina, their reception went well, as we know, but it's morning as we slept the night away. The next morning, how, they're meeting family and friends. Well, Olajuwon goes and meet Katina's people, and Katina's male friend is bout it, baby. He's bout it, and he's not apologetic about it. He puts the questions on Elijahwan, but the best question that I felt like is, was he really there for marriage, or was he there for, to hype his social media up, to hype his business up? People do this for all sorts of reasons, and it's not really real. And we've seen that a time or two where some people are not on Married at First Sight for the right reasons. And so I got why he was asking, why do you want to do this? And I like the Olajuwon's answers. Hey, look, I don't have a problem in the ladies department. I think he misspoke when he said, oh my God, what did he say? I don't know if I got it written down or not. Hold on. Let me see here. I bet I don't have it written down. Look, it's too late for paperwork. I ain't had this in my hand the whole time, and then I don't have on. Well, there was a comment that he made that unraveled the male partner of Katina, and I understood that. I felt like Elijahwan misspoke, right? He misspoke, but he meant that, hey, look, I could have any woman I want. I'm here because I want to be married. Not that he just wanted to try this thing, or he wanted to try something new, is what he said. That's what it was. He wanted to try something new. What he's really trying to say is, I want to try something new, as far as, instead of being with several different women, I want to try being with one woman. I want to try marriage. I want to make a family. I want to do something different instead of keep doing the same old thing I'm used to. And that's having so many different women. And so instead of him saying it like that, it came out wrong. And he's too into Katina to not be serious about this process. So, but I got what dude was saying. Like, he is looking at him like, you are a handsome dude. Like, why are you here? What's your angle? And I like the way Elijahwan handled it like a man. But Elijahwan comes on strong. Like, he's going to have that argument, like, almost to, what's up, you want a box? Like, we can get this thing going. I mean, we can fight this out. That's the kind of energy Elijahwan has. So with him having ADHD, you got to kind of be careful with Olajuwon, because he's not playing, and he gets so riled up and serious. Polo baby. Yeah. But Katina, again, I like Katina to an extent. There's still something about Katina that rubs me the wrong way, and I see her as also kind of being Alyssa, taking information and running the wrong way. I don't like anybody who can't make their mind up for themselves, and she kind of leaned toward that with, maybe my friend sees something I don't see, and I'm gonna look. I felt like Friends. I don't know why I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it. Somebody might not agree with me, but I felt like Chris's friends were a little jealous, as well as Alyssa's friends. I got jealous energy from both parties, and they were just both her friends and his. They were coming on way too strong, and it was like, what's y'all angle? Like I didn't. It was almost annoying to watch. Like all the bad stuff they were saying, or just I felt like Chris failed the test with Alyssa's friends too. I more thought that she would be hearkening on what he said to her friends, as far as them saying that she can be a little bossy and this and that, and his friends, him then responding to her friends that he could be a bit of a butthole. So I thought that would be what it was. I didn't realize his friends had shot him down so low. She used that to then act like what they said was the reason she can't go through this relationship, because he didn't want anyone like that, and it's really because she's just not attracted to him, and that's what it is. But she used their words like a shield. So I think that's what kind of happened to Katina, and it's like another person who I felt parents shared really good information was when Michael talked to Jasmina's father, and he told her, don't let her boss you around. Again, that is the fear in the mother's eyes for Michael. She fears that her daughter's gonna be way too strong, just way over the top, unbearable, and that's a fear because that once he noticed that within her, it can be a done situation. Because some things men will put up with, but if you just met a person, there's some things you won't take it any further. It won't go past go. So that's how I kind of looked at that. Elijahwan and Katina, I think their attraction is going to be they're a beautiful couple, and I see him wanting to be married. I don't still know if she's in it for the right reason. So I can't say that they're going to last. But because it is something there, he's acting like a husband, and he's attractive. Elijahwan is a cutie. He's a cutie. And he got a nice body. And girls, you know how we love them tats. Yes, we do. Yes, Lord. Another thing I wanted to say, speaking of tats and body, is Alyssa. I got to go back to her real quick. Because, girls, we know when we're going to sleep with a guy, we know the first 5 minutes of meeting him, like, oh, wee boy, yeah, you can get it. As long as you don't say nothing stupid in the meantime and in between time, you gonna get this. And just let me play my game. If I want to play innocent, if I want to play shy, if I want to play all these games before I have to understand, I'm gonna give it to you. Let me feel good about myself until we get there. Alyssa pulled that whole, I like to take things really, really slow, and that's just a bunch of bull coming out of girls' mouth. Girls, when they like you, slow is almost one of the last things they'll do. Of course, they'll play it slow to play the game a little bit, but you in there as far as you gonna get it. You just gotta be patient. It's all yours. And for her to play that game with him, it's just her gaslighting him again and giving him the BS, because I don't see her as the wait kind of chick when she likes somebody. Usually anybody, when you really like somebody, it's not like you're going all out and super head over heels, but you are doing things to let them know I like you too, and I like spending time with you, and I like being with you, and I like when you call me every day. I like when you give me that good morning text. I like you. And that's not what she was giving him. That's not the energy. And so, again, I don't know where it's really going to go with Alyssa and Chris. I feel like she's a narcissist and he's going to be getting dragged the whole season. But Elijahwan and Katina, I hate to say it, I think they're going to have a little rocky road, but they're going to make it through. And I hate to say it this way, because they're a cute couple, they belong together. And I think that some people stay together when they are, both see that they're attractive people. I don't know. That's just the way I think. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking so simple minded, but because he's hung up on looks with her, and that's his whole. My wife is beautiful, and he want to just kiss, which is irritating. But you see how, in reality, girls usually we don't like that kind of stuff. Don't keep kissing us. Don't keep giving us the compliment. We want your compliments, but not every 5 minutes. Oh, you're so beautiful. Then you start sounding like a simp or a weak dude, and it just is annoying. But you notice how she wasn't getting annoyed and she was taking it all in. She was acting like she was tired of it, but she really was. It was pumping her up. And so when a person really like you, all that stuff they say they don't like, it goes out the window. I remember this guy was hung up on toes, and it was 3 women he was dating, and he was really hung up on toes. If your toes was messed up, he was not doing you. But who'd he pick? The girl with the raunchy knuckles for toes. He picked her because when somebody likes somebody, none of that matters. So just remember that, okay? And that is my season 14 of Married at First Sight. That's my episode 4. I hope that you heard or I said something that you can agree with, or you can go back. Check Married at First Sight out on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it goes down next Wednesday. Get that episode 5 in, and let's go over it together. And I wanted to say this for the 10 people who watched my video. I went from 5 to 10. I want to thank everybody for watching me and support me. Even if it's 10 people, you got to start small, crawl before you walk. And I'm excited for my little 10 people. If I can get 10 more and with some likes, I would appreciate that. So thank you for share, subscribe, and like the channel. And thank you for your support. Have a good one. Bye.